Hey everyone, happy Sunday evening. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. What a beautiful stretch of weather it's been, huh? But you know what? We need the rain. We need it in a major way. Yeah, Jacob, I saw that YouTube video. That was not so good with the final puzzle. But in a sense, I mean, do you know what it was? I mean, was it crashing my exercise bike, which is really not an event that's pretty common unless you're literally mayhem with Allstate. So, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue coming to an end. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Let me know what y'all did. You can comment on there. And you know what? We've got some rain chances. Finally, you can see it down at the bottom. Finally, some rain chances. Now, why might that be? Well, because high pressure is to our east, and that's starting to bring in a southerly wind. And so that southerly wind is essentially starting to pump in some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. It's not a lot, and we weren't going to have drop busting rain, but that moisture and humidity is increasing a little more than what we've seen over the last several weeks. And you can also see, too, some subtle flow coming in from the southwest that's going to bring some rain chances. So if we look at this, you can see one little wave here, another wave here. So all that is moving northeast, and we'll probably eventually move in by tomorrow late morning. And we're going to have several little areas of precipitation coming throughout the day tomorrow, especially late morning into the afternoon. I'll show you the future radar here coming up in just a bit. There's the upper level spin. There's the southwesterly flow. All of that's going to provide some rain chances. So if we look at the severe weather risk tonight and into tomorrow morning, there is no severe weather risk because there's not a lot of instability. However, there are the potential for some non-severe storms, and you can see that, or there is the potential, and there are severe, non-severe storms that will potentially develop. Now, as we move into our Monday morning into Tuesday morning time frame, so this is basically 7 a.m. Monday to 7 a.m. Tuesday. I think this should include a little bit more of the river valley. I think this will be updated, but isolated thunder showers possible. Most likely it's just going to be showers, but there could be some thunder showers. This is Monday late afternoon into the evening. And then when we look at our Tuesday into Wednesday morning risk, there's a potential for some stronger storms. Now, I think this might shift a little bit farther south. However, I don't think it shifts far enough south where it makes it into northwest Arkansas. Our best chance of rain for the next several days is going to be Wednesday late morning. Now, we have rain chances tomorrow. We have them Tuesday morning, but the bulk of this system, the bulk of the energy is coming in on Wednesday. So, future track model. You'll notice pretty quiet throughout the overnight hours tonight. A little bit of high cloudiness starts rolling in tomorrow. Will it be a nice sunrise? Potentially. Sunrise with a red sky in the morning. Sailors heed the warning. And you know what that means? The potential for some storms and some rain coming our way. And so there might be a beautiful red sky in the morning sunrise. So that sunrise, by the way, is at 7:18, so it's going to be right about the time I'm taking my son to school. Yep, tomorrow is sunrise is 7:19. So, what is happening, Richard? Hope you're doing well. So puffy clouds coming your way. So watch as we move throughout the day on Monday, late morning, some shower activity. And what's interesting is if you look at your apps, you might see a 20% chance of rain. And while it's not going to be a lot, and while the HRRR model might be a little overdone, I see the energy out west, so it makes sense to me. I went 30 and 40% for tomorrow. And you're going to notice, too, that a little bit of isolated shower activity continues throughout the first part of the day. Second half of the day, that energy moves out. We get sinking air behind it. So the best chance of rain is going to be tomorrow late morning into the mid-afternoon. Now, on your Tuesday, the best chance of rain is going to be in the early morning hours throughout the late morning. And there you can see those rain chances kind of sticking around. And then you could also see that system swinging through. So that's the bulk of the energy that comes in with some thunderstorm activity farther north where you saw the severe weather risk. Now on Wednesday, we got even a better chance of rain. And so at the moment, I can't go anything over 30% just because River Valley might see it a little bit more. There is some uncertainty. Let me show you a different computer model and you'll see a totally different scenario. Yes, it still shows rain, but not enough, in my opinion. So And then you see the majority of that's in the River Valley with very little in Northwest Arkansas. But then watch what happens on Tuesday. Tuesday morning, there you see the shower activity starting to pop up at about midnight. And then it kind of trains over the area throughout the late morning and then finally starts to shift east during the second half of the day. So the best chance for rain, besides that little wave that comes in Tuesday night, that's questionable if that even happens. But there's going to be all these little subtle pieces of energy. Now, when we look at the 7-day precipitation outlook, you're going to see that number one, we've got rain chances for Monday and for Tuesday. You saw that. But Wednesday, we're bumping up those rain chances the most to 40%. And then on Saturday and Sunday, this upcoming weekend, maybe a little bit more rain coming our way. Now, why is that? Well, because the European model is definitely hinting at rain Wednesday morning. And in fact, the bulk of this energy, this could be some thunderstorm activity. And the new day 3 tomorrow morning will probably have, in my opinion, a marginal risk for our area. And then you can see it moving out. So the best chance of rain on Wednesday will be during the morning into the afternoon. Wednesday evening, everything kind of clears out. Thursday looks good. Friday looks good. Saturday looks okay until Saturday late night. And then we got another potential for rain. Now, check this out. That's a lot of green on there on this computer model, Sunday into Monday. But if we look at a different computer model, you're going to see that this barely has any rain at all. So let's go with this one here and let's see what we got. So here's Wednesday, again, showing rain. Pretty good chance of it late morning into the afternoon. Then it clears out. Thursday's looking dry. Friday's looking dry. And for this one, no rain Saturday. Oh, okay. Now it changed. So it shows the rain on Sunday. And it doesn't show nearly enough, in my opinion. But there you have it with the GFS. Now, there's also a really strong cold front coming in that could really plummet the temperatures by the end of this 7-day forecast into the early part of next week. So we're about 8, 9, 10 days out. All right, good question. Cross country meet at Prairie Grove Monday at 4 p.m. Rain dam. If it is, it's going to be very light. So, David, I think you're good with that cross country meet. The track will be wet, though, most likely. Not very wet, but a little bit of rain coming our way. And so there might be a little bit of rain on the track, but I think you're going to be okay for that cross country meet. Because again, if we look at the high resolution modeling, and let's look at this one. This one doesn't quite go out as far. Yeah, see, it shows some showers, some very isolated showers, but let's go back to this one real quick. And 4 o'clock, starting to move out. And then you see it clearing out. So clearly the main risk is going to be wind. Hail, there's not a lot of instability, so it would be mainly damaging winds, most likely from the line, if it even comes to fruition. There's a lot of uncertainty with this Wednesday forecast, but there's a look at, tomorrow, maybe around upper 70s, lower 80s. Then we got 30% chance of rain and storms. Then pretty much all morning on Tuesday, rain and storm chances. So with that said, let's look at the 7-day forecast and we'll show you what's going on. So Ryan, that would be the main risk, as we mentioned. It would basically be a little bit of wind potential. What's your thinking on maybe some severe weather 1024, 1025? So the only way to look at that far out, you would have to look at what's called the LRC or the Hetty cycle. And I don't know, it's a ways out. Way too far, in my opinion. No worries, David. It's what I'm here for. So let's go back to that 7-day real quick and show you that, I just got done doing Fox. So watch this. The graphic's going to change before your eyes. We're going from Fox to KNWA in 3, 2, 1. There it is. There you get to see the change in real time. The 7-day forecast for Northwest Arkansas, the first 5 days, a couple things to note. It's going to be pretty breezy. As you can see, those winds are picking up on Tuesday ahead of that system coming in. And then Wednesday, we've got south to northwest winds as the front moves in 10 to 20. And then northwest winds 10 to 20. And then Friday, the winds kind of die down. The rest of the 7 day, I included the rain chances for Saturday and Sunday. It makes more sense considering what the GFS is showing. So I do think perhaps maybe some thunderstorm activity on Sunday as well for a week from now. But it is a ways out. A lot can change, and therefore didn't go overboard with those rain chances as of this point. So if we look at the jet stream, I'll show you why we're getting these storm chances and also why um, the models have kind of trended back on the severe weather potential. So we knew that that system would be bringing in northwest flow. Now we got southwesterly flow. There's going to be several subtle waves. But remember how it was showing the trough being all the way on the west coast? Now it's not. It's kind of like a glancing blow. This system does evolve, though, across the Great Lakes region. Pretty impressive system right there. Not a lot of moisture, though, for severe weather. And then you could see it moving east. So anybody that's headed to New York on Wednesday into Thursday is going to be experiencing this system. And then after that moves out, the weather really starts to get pretty good. But did you see that? Another system diving in from the northwest. That's the potential right there for some rain coming in on Sunday, and then the system moves out. But it's going to be a more active weather pattern as multiple systems come through. So one more look at the GFS real quick. And I'll show you that jet stream as well. Okay, here's the 10-day GFS jet stream. And it does a totally different thing by the end of the forecast period. So it's loading. Okay, there is the system coming through on Wednesday, both kind of in agreement. Glancing blow moves east. But then watch what happens on Saturday to Sunday. That system's way northeast of us. And then it's actually got ridging. So that actually doesn't bring a lot of rain and storms. However, look at the pattern evolve as we move into next week. So the question was the 24th, 25th. That's a long, 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 long ways out, Maston, to be predicting severe weather potential. But that's something that we'll definitely need to keep our eye on because this is a pretty active weather pattern. So I think the rest of our October starting this week is going to be quite a bit of a pattern change and quite a bit more active weather. So we need the rain. We need it in a major way. There's the amount of burn bans that are in effect. 70. There's only 75 counties total in Arkansas, and there's only 5 that are not under burn bans. Oklahoma, Cherokee County, as of last check, that might change today, but no burn ban. But everything else has a burn ban. So, and we look at the precipitation forecast. Of course, these are always kind of a little underdone sometimes, but not always underdone sometimes, but it can be underdone, meaning it's too little predicted. Quarter to a half inch. It all depends on if thunderstorms pop up and what's happening. So much for fall colors 2 years in a row. Yeah, about that. It is kind of a bummer how the fall colors are starting, but the leaves are just so tender that they're already falling off the trees. And a lot of wind over the next couple of days will probably knock more and more and more off. So you never know, though. Nature's resilient. It can do what it wants. It could be a really good color year. We'll see how it shapes up. If you missed it, this is what I think the peak is. And I think I'm going to be pretty much maybe a little too late. Well, no, October 23rd through the 29th. That's our expected peak, Matthew, for Northwest Arkansas. River Valley will be a little later. Higher elevations will be earlier as well. But something to watch. And then that's the current fall colors. We got patchy color. Just not ideal conditions for great fall colors. So how's the weather returning for tomorrow? Returning from Iowa tomorrow. So we got a little bit of rain, but nothing that's going to delay any flights or anything like that. So Apps are now showing mid to low 30s Sunday, Monday. True. No, that's too premature. In fact, if that rain comes in, that's not looking like it. But it would be next Tuesday, Wednesday, not Sunday, Monday. That's too fast. And those apps are probably going off the GFS. How short are we from normal rain? Well, let's just show you. Zero. 6.6 inches below for the year. For the month, 1.27. Now, we had times when it rained, but it's just the drought, it's not good. Here's a look at the drought from last week to this week. So, a couple things to point out. I'll take the camera off the screen, but look at the red area. So, this was last week. Northeast Oklahoma barely had, these counties barely had any red. Now it's totally filled in. Washington County was not even under a drought moderate drought, a D1 category. Abnormally dry is known as a D0. It's actually not drought conditions. It just means you're getting close to drought. And you can see the exceptional really didn't change much. Let me take the camera off the screen for our friends in Central Arkansas. I'll look at Little Rock area and north of Little Rock. Man, really, really dry. So I can show you something here. Pretty astounding, actually. If we look at water.weather.gov and we look at precipitation, and then we go into the last 30 days, and I'm going to bring up the counties, state. Okay, we got to let this data load here. We'll let it load. Feed the birds if you can. If we get a heavy rain event, is that bad since the ground is so dry? Yes, especially if it comes down really heavy. It would be all runoff, but I don't think this is going to be a heavy rain event. JT asked this question. Dan, what do you think about the persimmons having spoons in them? Any justification on your end to support the folklore? It's a great question. I am a fan of cutting open persimmon seeds, and they have done pretty good. Some years, not so much, but nature knows a lot more about what's coming up for the winter than we do, looking at computer models, long-range forecast, ENSO, El Nino, La Nina, all that stuff. Nature knows. I saw some squirrels gathering some nuts. I saw like you said, the persimmon seeds opened up with a lot of spoons. So all that stuff's really, really kind of cool. There's a bunch of other winter folklore too. How hot it is the first week in August will equal, if it's really hot, it's a harsh winter. Because typically hot summers do not always lead to harsh winters. However, harsh winters, because of the active weather, because of the highly amplified weather pattern, that can lead to blocking patterns in the summer. So a very cold winter can and often leads to a very hot and brutal summer. But it's not the other way around, meaning you might have a very hot summer, but it doesn't always lead into a harsh winter. So even though they sounds like they're interchangeable, it's not. Feed the birds, water your lawn. But like I said, we do have some rain chances coming. It's not a lot, but it could bump up a little bit more. Let me show you what some of the computer models show for precipitation. So let's go into this and we'll look up rain accumulation. Now this is just starting to load. So there's the next 3 days. You have 5 107-inch, 1,307-inch, 8,207-inch in Grove. The European, the contouring is going to pop on there, but it shows a lot more rain, about a quarter to a half inch to 3/4 of an inch, even an inch. So the European's a little bit more on board with this. GFS also has rain, and the NAM also has rain. So, yeah, there's a very good chance that it will be raining over the next 3 days. At times, at least within the next 3 days. And if we look at how much the models are breaking out, well, let's check that out. Let's go kind of step by step here through this. So there's Monday afternoon. See where the rain's coming into the river valley earlier than northwest Arkansas. So by late morning, there's going to be rain in the river valley. And then by early afternoon, it starts to move out. Now, some places won't get a lot. And that's why we didn't go very high on the rain chances in northwest Arkansas. And some places won't get any. But I still think it's enough that it warrants precipitation chances. And then Tuesday, there's a system coming in, and it provides a little bit more rain Tuesday in Benton County, but just not a whole lot there. Now, if we look at the European beyond 7 days, so there's the total. Everything's quiet through Friday. Remember, Saturday night, you'll start to see some rain being added on there, not a lot. And then Sunday, look at that. Sunday has a pretty good rain event. That would be awesome. That would be helpful. Hopefully that happens. Michael, all right. Why did the Packers lose? I don't have NFL Network. So the Packers lost because of terrible play calling. And in fact, they have pretty much, I don't know what it is with my football teams this year, but their play calling is terrible. Now, I know it's easier to be an armchair quarterback and, hindsight's 2020, but here's the deal. You're running with Aaron Jones easily, and you have 2 yards to get the first down before you have first and goal. And we pass the ball, and Aaron Rodgers is going for the long pass almost every time. He's going for big chunk yardage. When at first we started off, we just moved the ball efficiently and very methodically down the field. But then they started doing these deep passes that were very low probability and very low percentage, and they wouldn't catch them. And the 2 plays at the end got batted at the line of scrimmage, and it was stupid. And really, honestly, the 4th down play, it didn't matter what it would have done. He would have caught it, and he wouldn't have been in the end zone. So it was kind of one of those back shoulder throws where they're running, and then you turn, the football's coming this way, and your defender's on the inside. But it was terrible. And you want to talk really about terrible. My college that I graduated from, OU, they got smoked by Texas. The worst loss ever in OU Texas history. It was crazy. It was terrible. And then Arkansas lost. The Packers lost. I'm tired of football, honestly. I'm done. I'm ready to hang it up already. None of my teams are doing good. Yeah, OU. Oh, Matthew, I know you were at Colby's house. That was awful. That was probably some of the worst stuff I've ever seen from our team. Arkansas's play calling, not the best either, as you know. Just some really, no misdirection, no trying to change. And, it's easy to coach from the other side of the TV, no doubt. But misdirection does go a long way. Tough weekend for your teams also. That's what Michael says. Yeah, it sure was. Michigan won. How about that? Notre Dame won, too. They beat BYU, and the BYU is playing Arkansas this week. Yeah, Colby would have been not happy. There was definitely the Colby effect on that game. Oh, my goodness. Maybe that's where the Colby effect went, was Dallas. All right, guys, I'm going to stay on here for another 4 minutes. We're getting to the 2-minute warning, so I'm almost to our end of my day here. Then we got the newscast. And some of the stuff that I've done, you've seen on Facebook Live, I'm going to do during the news. Tennessee is taking the W Saturday against Bama. Why did you just say some rain? Because people are thinking rain and it's like going to be dropping all the burn bans and it's going to be removing all the drought. It's not. And some places won't get a lot of rain at all. So when I say some rain, it's basically saying that this isn't going to be a major rain event, but we will get some rain. So that's how it was descriptive on that. Does that make sense? Because if I say it's going to rain, then you're like, yeah, all right, drought's going to be gone, the burn ban's going to be lifted. They won't. I hope that makes sense, Chris. Let's see what else. I don't know if you got to see my live shot where I was live reporting. How about them Cowboys? First freeze anytime soon. It's going to be close. It's going to be close in about a week and a couple days. So that's going to be midweek next week. Typically, the first frost, that's a good question here. Let's check this out, and I'll show you it's really called the last. Is it the last or the first? No, it's the first freeze. Of course it is. All right, here's some first freeze climatology. You ready? Now, this does not include the first frost, but this is first freeze climatology. So there's three types of freezes. There's a light frost, 32 to 29. There's a hard freeze, 28 to 25. Then there's a killing freeze when you get below 25. So the average date of the light frost is October 19th, which is exactly when the models are hinting that a strong front comes in, and it'll be close, mid-30s. The earliest ever recorded was September 24th, 1989. On a hard freeze, November 1st is typically that first average date. 7th of October, 1952 is the earliest date on record. And for a killing freeze, look at this, we're October 9th right now. The earliest date was 52. 52 was bonkers, man. There was so much that happened in 52, 53, 54, which coincidentally were La Nina years. And according to ENSO, and those were very active weather years. It kind of reminds me of 2011. Just crazy cold, crazy hot, crazy storms, crazy snow, rains, all sorts of stuff. 2011 just brought everything. Just brought the kitchen sink. Oh, man. Oh, wait, extra point coming. Let's see if this game goes to overtime. If he makes it, they'll be up by 1. And if he misses it, there's a chance that there's going to be overtime. They better not. So that's the Northwest Arkansas freeze climatology. If we look at the River Valley, in case you're wondering, it's a lot later. November 2nd is that average first freeze, a couple weeks after that. Hard freeze is November 17th, and a killing freeze is November 25th, so typically about a week later. And the earliest one for a light frost, the 7th of October, 2012. I remember 2012. It was cold. October 18th, 1948, and October 24th, 1917. So there's that. Now, if we look at, we already had that. Those are the same graphics. All right, so here is some more climatology. The average date of the first freeze is October 19th. Oh, he did miss it. Oh, no, it was good. It went over the upright. It went over the upright, almost the exact same place that where Cam Little. It did. It went over the upright, and they determined it was good. Whoa. Man. All right. There will not be a tie. Good deal. Here's a good question by Chris. Is there a cycle of La Nina years, as in how many years it is in between? So that's a good question. It still hasn't loaded, by the way, on this. Let's see. I was going to show you the precipitation. I was waiting for the page to load, and it hasn't loaded. I don't know what's going on. It's failing. Yeah. Nothing? Not going to go? Let's see. Today, nothing's working. Let's try this. Let's go with that. And do yes. Yep. And let's go with hold on just a second. Weather forecast office. And let's go to Tulsa. Let me see if I can do this real fast. It just doesn't seem to be working though. County. Precipitation. Nah. Stinking thing's not working. All right. Well, anyways, let's look at the ENSO here. So let me bring this up real quick, and then this will be my last question, Chris. Why couldn't that happen against A&M? I know he kicked it right over the upright, and they called it good. That was weird. All right. Stand by here. Window. Okay. So here's ENSO. Blue is obviously La Nina, and red is El Nino. And it varies. Sometimes you got it where it's every other year. There's a 3-year, and there it is. 52 was, well, 52 wasn't a La Nina year. I thought it was. It's pretty much neutral. It went from La Nina down to neutral. So it was cooling. So 52, 53, 54, these years were nuts. And yeah, we had La Nina and El Nino. So it just varies, honestly. There is no rhyme or reason. It's about typically every, I guess, 5-6 years. Yeah, about every 5-6 years, but then sometimes back to back to back years. It's all over the place. So that's what that is. I know. Why couldn't that happen against A&M? That would have been helpful. All righty, guys. Yeah, no. Oh, see the moon tonight. Got a picture of it last night. Yeah, Jupiter was right next to it too. That was super cool. So, okay, guys, that about does it for me. You have a great rest of your Sunday. There's only about less than 2 hours left of it. And tomorrow morning into the early afternoon, I think you see some rain. Some rain. Not going to be a lot. And then as we move into our Tuesday morning, we got more some rain. And then Wednesday, we got a little bit better rain chances. And then over the weekend, that's still up in the air, but we'll see. Okay, guys, I've got to go. I got to get ready for this newscast. And until then, you have a good one. And thanks for watching. See ya.